Oh, what a feeling. I was told to get excited this morning, and it's hard not to be really being down here. But look, it's Alex again. We're up to update number 4, I think it is, for the month of July, end of the month, end of the week. We're going to run through a few things. I wanted to show you to start off with the cabinet, but we're going to go to the introduction of the old cronies fucking music. Start again. Hi, I'm Alex. Welcome back to update number 4 for July. Year's getting ahead of us, but we're getting the boat finished. What we're going to do is show you, again, around the main floor, go into the boat, show you what's been happening over the last week, cue the introduction, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so here we are. Excuse the noise, boys are working. This is a cabinet that goes under the stairs in the cockpit. So we've showed you some mock-up of that before, the cable master reel, and that comes out. So that's in this section here. This has all been glossed, so the interior part of this has all been glossed already in 2-pack. We're now in the process of doing the 26 coats of all wood clear. So we're up to about coat number 4 here. We just keep putting it on and on and on, and then we'll block it back after you put about 4 or 5 coats on, and then same process again. You just got to keep building the layers up to fill the grain, like we've done with the gloss of the silky oak, same sort of deal. So initially, if you look at it from different angles, you'll still see a bit of grain and that in it. That's just keeps getting filled and filled and filled. There's no point putting on a coat and then sanding it next, because you're going to sand away half what you just put on. So you've got to put on 4 or 5 coats, let it cure, block it back, and then go again. Once we get closer to the end, so this has been done with a roller, once we get closer to the end, we then clean it into the spray booth and we spray the last couple of coats on. Then you get it absolutely perfect. So that's what we're looking at there. This, again, I was asked, it's solid teak. So what we've used is 10mm teak planks that we had, and we actually used some that we had shorter pieces that we didn't use off on another job. So that's the bit you're not going to see. So you can see there you got the hoop marine ply, and then you've got the solid teak there. We went with solid teak rather than, say, like a paperback veneer, because this is going to be outside. It's going to be in the weather. You're going to need to maintain it in the, we're building a boat that we want to last another 50, 60 years or more. So the idea is that in service, this is going to need to be recoated. So if we did a veneer, you're talking 1mm at most on paperback, and you get a couple of sands in it, you've gone through it, and then it's going to be a big disaster. So this piece here is solid. That's the boards there. And then what we do is we also try to match up the boards. So if you look closely, it's hard to tell how many boards are in there, because the grain and that, you try and match it up a little bit. So you can see there's a join there, through there, and there'll be another join through there, and another one coming through there. But they are hard to see. And that's the whole point, is you want it to just look like one big board of teak. So that's what we've done there. Here is a fridge, and then we've got a door here, which will be matched in with the rest of this. So you can just come around the other side, you can see. So this is, again, it's going to look lovely when it's done. The thing with doing natural wood is everything's different. So you try and match up the boards that as best you can, and go from there. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to run around and see Kevin for a minute, because he's now doing the capping that is on the top of the Flybridge. We talked about that last week. So we're going to toddle off and go and see Kevin. Oh, I've got to go this way because the boards are there. So you can see these big boards. This was the original part of the combing, correct?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which part it was, because it could only have been that or that. It looks more like that, to be honest.
Because that was thinner, yeah. The viewers can see what happens when the varnish starts to wear off. You get all these big patches everywhere, all through here. And you can see where the plugs were, and screws coming through. So what we've got here is the capping for the Flybridge. This is the lower part, not around the actual wheelhouse side, the Flybridge side. This is the lower section here, and we've been looking at the picture of the boat when we first started to work out which bit this one here came off.
Yeah, it either came off top of the bulwarks there or up on the Flybridge, one of those two long lengths.
Yeah.
But it would have been a fairly similar section, but this bit here that we're doing now down here in the aft of the wheelhouse, Flybridge, sorry, we're going to put stanchions on there, aren't we?
Correct.
Alex?
Yeah. Well, that's how we're looking at it.
Yeah.
So what we're looking now is the piece of teak that goes through here. So that's similar to what we've done on the main deck, except we've gone for a lower profile because we got what have we got up on the main deck? 45. 45 millimetre. This is 35, so we chopped it down 10 mil. It looked a bit too chunky, and the Flybridge is a bit higher up. You want to look a little bit more.
We want less weight up the top too.
Yeah. So that's same width, but a little bit thinner. I mentioned to you last week sort of where this is going, and the other part that's up there now, which comes into this. You can see Kevin's done another wonderful job of scarfing all the bits together, so they all look like one piece.
Yeah, so those scarves are the same. They're biscuited, double biscuits inside there to hold it together.
So this is the full length for the...
This is the full length at the moment. I've got to trim it down just a little bit, not much.
Yep.
I'm just going to mark out where I'm going to put the screws and then router the rounds, put the rounds on, except at the very forward end where it's got to meet into that thin capping.
Yep.
So I'll have to detail that with... It's easier to do it with square edges than with a round. So
absolutely.
Sort of getting that in my head now.
No, it's coming together pretty quick though. It's bloody fantastic.
Yeah, I tried to pick the grain so it was the same either side, but it's fairly limited for the length of teak that we had. But anyway, it's going to be awesome at the end of the day.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, well, we're going to soldier on, and we're going to go now and have a look at the setup we're doing for the water makeup. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Oh, gosh. I'm stuck down here in the engine room. I wanted to show you this complete downstairs, but Leo's been so quick and he's got the thing up here now. So we'll show you a couple of photos of what this was or what it's going to be. And then this is now where it is. So basically we're down there, we've got the bulkhead here with the fuel tank on the other side, the bulkhead here with the water tank. So this is where the water maker's going. So we had set up in the photo, you'll see one of the box here which has got the flow gauge and everything on it, and then there's the box there which is the controller, which is on and off and what have you. So what we've done for the cable penetration, so you can see how we've done these nice cutouts in here, so the wiring all goes behind here. You won't actually see all of this in the front. It's a bit like when you do a custom car and you want to hide all the battery cables and things, you hide it all. So that'll all go through here. The plumbing will come down here. High pressure pump goes onto here, rubber mounted. We will put a tray. We'll do a matching tray like we've done to the other side with the chiller plant. So that way, if you do have a bit of a spillage of salt water or something, it's going to be contained. Membranes going up here, which will work. They'll fit. And that's about it here. We're just in the process now of working out where all our lights and everything are going to go in the deck head. And also, as I mentioned last week, so we're going to have a slide out drawer either side here. So we've got storage and things like that. We've got our tool cabinet. We've got the gen sets out of the way a little bit at the moment. You can see all the cabling. That's the sort of cable that we're using for the engine starting. So it's big stuff. It's all been calculated out and everything like that. And the setup with the battery system on this boat is that we've got a bow and a stern thruster. The bow thruster will run off, say, the starboard engine battery, starting batteries, and the stern thruster will run off the port side. We've calculated out, obviously, current drop and things like that, so that way we don't have to have more batteries up in the bow and batteries underneath beds in the owner's stateroom and stuff like that. So we worked it all out, which is why we had to go to such big cabling. We're 24 volt on this boat, so as I said, so that's all coming in here. So that's your main circuit breakers. If you want to try and get around the side there, it's got to be labelled yet, but that gives you an idea. So you've got all your on-offs and everything for all the DC side of things. So it'll be the engine, port and starboard starting, genset, port and starboard. Then you've got bow and stern thrusters and davit and all that type of thing. AC on this side here. These gen sets, we've actually fitted, Kohler did a module that you can fit to them so they'll synchronise. So that way, if we get too much load on one, we can bring the other gen set online and they'll actually synchronise and we can run them parallel, we'll synchronise together so we get double in that output. So that's how we're doing there. We've got, once we get this all into there, then we can get these back in place. You can see the cable trays and that we've run all around there that we've showed you before. So that's where all the cabling's going to go. Then it goes up through there to the wheelhouse, goes up on the other side to the wheelhouse, and we've got our transformers there as well. And we do have a big isolation transformer for the shore power, which will go in there below those battery chargers. So it's all starting to come together. Now, don't you bloody fall over there. Just pan down, have a look. There's shit everywhere at the moment. But you've got to crack an egg to make an omelette, and that's what you've got to do here. We've got to run cables and things all over the place in order to build a boat, and that's what we're doing. So we're still on track for launching this year, which is great. And as I keep saying, it's going to come together pretty quick. So we're going to go off now to look at the aft cabin. We've painted the owner's ensuite. Just want to show you that, and we'll probably sign off there. All right, so I'll catch you in a minute. Down in the owner's ensuite and stateroom, starting to get it cleaned up now because Ricky's going to be moving into here to start with the gloss of all of the bits and pieces. You can see, actually go around that side and look up, because you get a nice view then of the deck head that we're doing. So go, Mr. Cameraman, go around further. I want you to see up and all around here, so you can see all the detail there. So that's all in place. Again, these have got protection on them and gloss. This stuff here is all going to be finished off. So then this all gets gloss. We can't take it out of the boat because it's part of the boat. So this is all going to start getting prepped now for gloss. You'll start to see all of that come together, the big bulkhead. So it's going to look pretty bloody good once we get it all shiny and closer to finishing. So like I keep saying, a lot of it's done. A lot of the componentry is already done. It's just a little bit here and there. So once it gets gloss, we can do the final trim, do the electrics, and we're carpet, and we're done in the cabin. We have done the gloss on the ensuite, so we can stick your head in there and have a look. It is dry, but we don't want to touch anything, okay? So just stick your head in there. I was having a shower. I wanted to, I don't know if you know, you wouldn't have noticed we didn't film it, but we go through a lot of Bunnings buckets, and you wonder what they're for. We use them as for our vent, so we chop the arse out of them, and then we connect them up to ducting, put some filters on here, which you would have seen. Now you'll notice, and if you go back 5 minutes in the video, so we put the mesh onto here, and then that's our extraction from it. So this is pretty much how the ensuite started. So the one we just showed you is nearly finished. This one here is in the process. So this will start now to get the panels all screwed in, filled and fed. All this has got to be fed, all this here, and again, it'll all then be painted out. So then at the moment you'll notice it's all hard edges corners. So this all gets coved, so it's nice. What I want to do in the bathroom is, particularly with the shower and that, is this is like a wet area. So you want to be able to wipe it all out with a rag. You don't want hard edges where grime can get stuck and then it's a bugger. Some boats, they run a sicker bead down here, which I think looks pretty crap. So we can do way better than that. So as you see, once in another week, probably next video, we'll go back into the bathroom in the owner's ensuite there and run through it a little bit more, what we've been doing. We are doing teak grates for the bottom of the shower stall. So it all gets fed and painted gloss, and then we'll put a teak grate in there. We've got the glass sliding door, shower door, vanity, all that stuff's going to go in. We're just going to shoot next door to the other one because Scotty's been making up some of the Superyacht panels, so I want to show you that. So yeah, we'll move through here because I wanted to show Scotty's prowess here. Oh, here we go. I'll run out. Starting to be cosy. Right, so come in here. And you can see we're doing a combination of silky oak, teak, and then the gloss paneling. So just to try and soften it a little bit. So we've got a nice Corian top that goes on here. It's got the sink moulded into it. Then this is what we're going to start doing with the silky oak. That'll be gloss, so you'll have gloss, Corian, eggshell white gloss, eggshell white with a pencil border around the edge. So it's going to look really, really nice. It's simple. it's simple, pretty easy to do, really. And we'll just throw a bit more of the colour of the boat in. So that's where we're at. We've marked out here, obviously vanity, vanity. That's about it, I think. So look, that was a quick run around today. There's a lot going on. I've got a lot more to do yet. Don't fall over. Worry about you bloody reversing up there. So we'll be back again next week, and we'll give you an update again. It's sometimes a bit frustrating. I'm trying to get the guys to leave stuff unwrapped for at least a day so we can show you, because pretty much everything gets covered and then you can't see it. But it's going to be impressive when we take all the covers off, but that's where we're at. So I'm waffling shit again. We better go. I'll see you next week. Like and subscribe. Tell all your friends. We really want you to share the absolute craftsmen that are doing this job. So if you're into timber work and things like that in general, boats, timber boats, go and tell everybody about it. I just wish more people would actually appreciate the actual craftsmen that are doing this work, because it is second to none, and I believe that. Anyway, we'll see you next week.